Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you the paint booth that I've been building. It's not officially done and completed. As you'll see here in just a second, I'll take you around and show you every little detail. I've had a couple comments asking me to go into depth about, how the paint booth's set up. So I'm going to get into that today. We're going to go over lighting, intake and exhaust filters, how I've just constructed it. Basically, I didn't want to go out and buy, $20,000, $30,000 paint booth, because I just thought it'd be cheaper to kind of build it myself. So here we are. All right, guys, so the paint booth is 16 by 24. So I should be able to get any long bed truck. A crew cab long bed might be difficult to get in here, but just about anything that I could possibly want to paint, I could put in here. And again, since I've built it myself, you guys could build a longer paint booth if you wanted that. I also did a 10-foot ceiling, which I don't think is necessary. However, again, I just want to make sure that anything that I was going to take in here, I would be able to paint it in this room. All right, so the next thing you got to worry about is your lighting. And I made a lot of phone calls around to like local shops and other people that I know that have done this for many years. And most of the people were saying that recessed lights would be the best. So basically, you would put a flat glass or something against the drywall here, and then the light would sit back behind that, which if I would have thought about that back then, that's probably the way that I would have went, because you have a lot more light options. Having them like this, it's way easier to replace a light. That's one thing that is definitely a pro about having this kind of setup. However, you have to have explosion proof lights, okay? So vapor tight, explosion proof, I don't know what the difference is. They're just different ratings, but I feel like if you're going to do this, you at least need to have vapor tight lights. That way, with the vapor tight lights, you get this completely sealed up enclosure. It's got an O-ring on the inside to completely seal it off. It's completely waterproof. It's vapor proof. Even where the wires come through here, there's a rubber seal inside there, and it basically crushes a rubber isolator around the wire and completely seals it up. So that's another huge thing that you need to consider on this kind of stuff. The odds of an explosion happening with a regular LED light are probably very little. However, if it's my time to go, I don't want it to be by an LED light. All right, guys, so I'm looking at my order history here, and when I purchased these lights, which I'll link to down in the description, they were 5,200 lumens, 40 watts, IP65 waterproof, vapor-proof. 5000K is the color of those lights. So in total, I have 16, and obviously it looks very bright in here. I'm actually very happy with it. I haven't done any base and clear at this point, obviously, because this is just now finished. But very, very, very soon, like within the next week, I'm gonna be spraying primer on the 56 Chevy. So, all right, guys, so another thing that you need to think about is an exhaust fan, okay? You gotta have it. And basically I have my booth set up as a cross draft. So basically it's just going to take air through the doors where I've got swinging doors. I'll show you that here later. But the air is going to come straight across, filtered through the door, filtered again in this box. That's why this fan is boxed in, and it will get all the overspray and everything before it goes outside. All right. The funky looking box here is basically just to build up a frame. I'm going to run some wires across it. And it's basically going to give a support so that the filter material that's going to go over top of it, it's just a 40-inch wide layer that goes right over the top of this, and it's going to get enclosed on all sides here. The idea is just to keep all the overspray off the fan, and then of course to filter it as it goes outside. And that's why this box is built out. So far, it's actually only 15 inches, so it's not as big as what it seems. So it's only sticking out depth-wise, 15 inches. And it's basically just enough to keep the filter material from pushing against the back of this motor, because this whole thing needs to be open. So that's why there's going to be some wires going across just to support it and keep it off of this, so it's not all just completely, sunken in the middle, if that makes sense. All right, so basically how I've got this set up is that outside the paint booth, there's two switches. One is for the fan, one is for the lights. So, right now I can come in here, they're on completely different circuits. So the lighting can all be on if I'm in here just cleaning and stuff. and I've got a completely separate circuit for this. So the nice thing is that I can just walk out the paint booth, and then whenever I want to shut it off, even with the car in here, after it's sat for a little bit, I can shut the exhaust fan off and I don't have to worry about anything else. All right, another thing that you got to worry about is your air coming into the paint booth. I know that this is not the prettiest setup because there's just a 2x4 screwed to the wall, and then my filter system is attached to that. All right, so this is a 3-stage system. Again, I will link to all this stuff down in the description as long as I'm able to track it down. So this whole setup, including this shutoff valve right here, this was all sent in the same kit. And then of course you got your pressure regulator out here. But this is all made by Sharpe. So it's a 3-stage system. The first one removes water and contaminants. The second stage will remove oil and anything that wasn't caught as far as like micro particles in this first system here. Any moisture will then go to this third one, and basically this whole cylinder here is full of desiccant beads. And the nice thing is that down here at the very bottom, there's a screen where you can look through, and it's a color changing screen. So blue would just mean that it's fresh desiccant, it's still usable. And then over here on the other side, it shows you what the saturated color is gonna look like. And I do have a little catch out here. This is almost 100 feet from my compressor. So, and there's several drips throughout the shop that are, and I've kind of gone over this in another video, but there's several drops that's going to catch a majority of the water coming through. And then obviously down here at the bottom, I've got another spot where I can crack open and drain some water as well. So, all right guys, so the only other thing that I can think of to point out in this video is the way that the intake filters are set up. So these are 20 by 20 filters, and then in the middle of the filter, it's actually got a wire frame on the inside of it. So it's basically just gets temporarily stapled to the outside, and it's basically just pulling air in through the filter, and it's just going to catch all of the dust and the dirt. Again, this is not a finished product, so you know I want to eventually put drywall on the back side of this door, both the doors obviously. But yeah, and I got to put the latches on, stuff like that. And then my plan for the edge here, I've got some 1x6 board that's basically going to protrude out a little bit, and then there's going to be an expandable seal. So it's basically just going to expand out to like an inch. It's like a adhesive peel and stick kind of thing. We're just going to try that and see if that works for pretty much the entire frame around the door and then between both doors. All right guys, so as far as framing goes, it's obviously basically just a 16 on center wall all the way around. Then of course we added the angled part, and the idea was because if I'm standing right here and I'm blocking this light as I'm painting, then this one is going to make up for it. So it's just basically shining up, kind of filling in any dark spots that there might be. So, and I feel like it's going to work pretty good. Again, this is not a finished product, so it's really just going to be a matter of me getting in here and seeing how everything's going to work. All right, so one last thing I wanted to point out here. Obviously on the floor here, the idea is, you know, both doors are going to open up, okay, and they're the same exact size, but this door will stay shut whenever I have a vehicle in here. So if I'm just like bringing in panels, this door right here will probably stay shut. If I need to bring the entire car in here, I can open up both doors, but this one will have a rod that goes down right through the concrete. And then of course there'll be like a sliding latch right here on this door tied into the other door. And then obviously we're gonna have the 1x6 board all the way around the outside. And when the fan is turned on, actually even like this, when you kick the fan on, the door's automatically shut because it's pulling so much air through here. So point is, it's going to really seal all the way around this door. So, because it's just gonna close it even harder, and hopefully the idea is to bring it right against those seals. But again, it's really just gonna be a matter of, you know, trial and error, see if it works out. Maybe I get lucky and everything works. All right guys, so that's pretty much gonna be everything I think I can show you on the paint booth. Obviously I gotta do a lot of cleaning in there, and eventually I will finish out everything like the paint and stuff like that on the walls. Another thing is I know that I have been uploading very frequently, and that's because it's just been crazy busy. I'm actually standing in the office I just finished framing up. I've obviously done more than frame it up, but it is almost ready for some paint. So it's just been extremely busy. But now I'm finally back to going to be able to, upload consistently. So I do have a couple other little videos that I want to get out there to you. They're already, recorded and everything. I just got to edit them and put them out there. They're going to include some shop updates because obviously it's been a while since I've even updated you on the shop and everything. So there's been some really good things happen out there in the shop. As always, if you guys have any questions or anything about the paint booth or have any feedback or anything, let me know down in the comments. I'm happy to hear them, happy to answer any questions. Also, I'm on Facebook where you can message me through there. I'll link that down in the description as well, just in case you have any questions and you want more of a in-depth answer than I can give you on a YouTube comment. Make sure that you follow the Facebook page and ask me any questions that you want. All right guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.